Hello, screenwriters, and welcome to Writing for Screens, the screenwriting step-by-step project, episode 190. My name is Glenn Gers, and I come to you every Monday through Friday, if I can make it, at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to let you look over my shoulder, share my screen as I write a script. I do this in order to teach a part of screenwriting that I feel is under-taught, which is the day-to-day process, the line-by-line, scene-by-scene, getting stuff out of your head and onto the page and into a script form. Doesn't matter what kind of script it is. I'm not trying to tell you how to write the greatest script. I'm just trying to tell you how to get a script written. And this is not the only way to do it. I am just telling you what I learned, taught myself really, in a 25-year career writing for movies and TV. So I'm just letting you watch me walk through it in case it's helpful when you are facing the blank page. However, you do not need to watch all of these. You do not need to do what I say. If it's helpful, use it. Drop in now and then, check out an old video and see what I did, because every day I do this, something comes up where I'm like, oh, here's a thing that I run into sometimes. This is how I handle it. Those tricks, those tools, those skills, figuring out how to handle just the mechanics and the process of writing a script, that's what this is about. If it helps, great. If it doesn't, do what's good for you. There is no one way to do this. There is no one way to be an artist. There is no one way to write. There is no one good writing plan. Okay? So, I'm just trying to offer you stuff. However, if the process is not what you're looking for, on my channel, the first 3 sections are where the real goodies are. These things, you can see the thumbnails that I put up there, things like think in scenes, process of questions, flashbacks, genre. These are the topics that I've tried to do little 10-minute lessons on, where I am giving you what I think is just the most practical tools. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not telling you how to make $1 million. I'm just telling you these are tools that help you write. At least they helped me write. Maybe they'll help you. That is the name of the game here at Writing for Screens. Hello, Die. Hello, 99 Precinct. And Maritalitoso. How are you? And Division 5. Who would have thought? Yeah, I am definitely thinking I have got to start to not be at this anymore. In fact, one of the things I think I'm doing is I want to talk about the process of this show about the process is I'm going to start to skip some steps because what we're doing here, oh, that's not what, this is my notes. This is what you want us there. Okay. This pitch document that I am writing, I don't think you need to watch me write this whole thing. You're getting the idea. I'm going to do another day or two of it to give you a basic idea. However, the truth is, you don't need to watch every step of this. You're getting the idea. So what I'm probably going to start doing is working on some stuff during the day when I am not live, because I can just work faster and get this thing organized so that I can get back to doing the rewrite and finish that, because the main point of this project has succeeded. You guys have seen most of the process. By the time I'm done, I want you to have seen the last few steps. And then I really want you to go write your own stuff. I'll keep coming on live for a while. I'm going to talk about some of my old scripts. I'm going to talk about some articles. I've been saving some articles that I've seen in the press that I think are interesting topics that I'll just talk about for a while. Stuff like that. But that's the big plan here. That is the master plan of these live streams. Hello, CGCG. And hello, Butte. If you bought my videos, someone is cheating you. My videos are free. But yeah, you were hoping I would come to that realization. Yeah, look, you don't watch them. It's okay. You do not have to watch all of these. This is really important. I just was doing it to see what I could be live about. To try and gather a following. I've now gathered one, possibly more than I can use. And honestly, I do not want to make this about me. So, yeah, I'll just write. That's what I'm going to do. But watch out what you wish for there, because eventually I'm just going to write without talking to you guys at all. Because there will come a time when I have said everything I have to say. I'm getting close to that. I'm getting really to the point where I'm not telling you anything new. I love keeping you company. I love having your company. It's delightful. But honestly, you need to write your own stuff, and I need to write my own stuff. So, yeah. All right. Let's just see. No problem. Gotcha. I had a feeling. I can't imagine anyone could, if these could be sold, I would have figured out a way to do it. There's no money in this. I suppose if I kept doing it for years and if I started like getting some bots to subscribe and boost my numbers and stuff, I suppose I could get up there in the tens of thousands where some other writing teachers are, which is really freaky. The problem with that would be that I like to have an actual personal relationship, contact with people in which I am being sincere. I could not do that if we escalated this to 10 times what we've got. I know, no kidding. It's not a problem. I absolutely did not take it badly. I was speaking about thoughts I've been having. All right. So, yeah. So the basic thing about this is we got the plot here. Okay, this is just going to have to be cut drastically. That's the story. All right. Yeah, I'm going to have to write. See, this is really good notes for myself. These are the thing I try to do in these, what do they want? What's the obstacle? Is to make it into kind of not writing, not narrative, so that I can so I can conceive of the ideas and then apply them scene by scene, moment to moment. Now I have to turn them back into prose. Okay, so for instance, this whole thing that I did, where they try this and then they try this and then they try. All right, this is all interesting. I didn't remember that I wrote this, so I actually had forgotten what the series was about. Oops, sorry, I can't see what I'm doing here. There we go. The camera that I'm speaking into is actually in front of my screen. It's relatively small, but it is in the way sometimes. All right. Okay. So this is the story. All right. Yeah, thank you. Apparently I had in some update or something, I had accidentally switched the microphone input from my lovely Blue Yeti to the the basic computer, webcam, the iMac. I work on an iMac, and so it was just the desktop mic, and that was a disaster. So thank you. I am glad it's better. Okay. Okay, the end of the series. I positioned the page differently. Okay. Okay, so this. So the end of the series. Oh, this is interesting. What I did was I actually conceived of how it's going to end because I did not want Madeline and Norman to have to kill, and so this is the key. They set up a situation. They do it or get into a situation. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Well, I mean, I wrote this probably last fall, last September or something. So, all right. They are finally forced to confront. They finally forced. They decide they must. It's just stronger. Must. And then they fail at it. Okay. Then they set up a situation or get into a situation, one or the other. All right. Okay, so okay. Okay. I don't know if they're equally dangerous. The push by the pushed by their needs to conceal their original sins. Repeatedly murdering people. Okay. Okay. That's a good question. The answer is I'm used to Pages because I have a Mac computer and it came with it, and I've worked with it over decades. Well, actually not, because there was they only brought up Pages was a new thing. They had Apple something else, Apple Word, I can't remember. Anyway, the point is, yeah, Pages, because I'm familiar with it. I know how to use it quickly and easily. It does not matter what word processing you use or what software. The truth is, most of the time when I write my own writing, I write on a thing called Scrivener. Hang on. Let me just, I believe, yeah, here it is. Boom. Scrivener is actually what I personally write on. However, I will say, it's not free. That's, so if you can't afford it, don't worry about it. There's lots of other software. I think it's really cool because it lets you organize things. It's made for long projects, for long documents, and so what it does, it lets you break documents into many, many sub-documents and folders, and each one of those can be viewed either as an index card or as a document or as an outline form. It's very flexible, but it's also very complicated. Because it has so many ways you can do things, it's not necessarily intuitive. You have to learn it. It takes time. So that my personal, I wouldn't recommend Scrivener unless you have a lot of time and you're working on long documents. It makes no sense whatsoever for shorts, for short stories, for short documents, or if you don't write often. I write every day. I write gigantically long, complicated things, so therefore I like Scrivener. However, it doesn't matter. Whatever software you are comfortable with, whatever software you can afford, whatever software is intuitive to you, use that. If you end up working in Hollywood, you will probably be required to put your scripts into Final Draft, I think. But anyway, no, I'm good. This is I don't have much to do today. So the answer. So the answer is yeah. All I would say is I do believe that everyone should work in word processing when you're actually writing the document to read. Although I don't know. You know what? Every software is different. And they all, the main thing is just what can you get familiar with to the point that you're not thinking about the software. That's the key. The key is, like I've said before, it's like walking. You want to get to the point where you're not thinking about how you get your foot in front of the other foot or how you make yourself walk, which is what happens when we learn to walk. When human beings learn to walk, the first, year of that, it's awkward. You fall down a lot. You can't really steer yourself. You don't know how to do it. What we need you to get as writers is to the point where the writing part, the process, is as unconscious as the process by which you walk or drive or whatever it is that you do habitually. The thing that you do without thinking about what you're doing, so you can think about what that thing you're doing will get you to. So you think about where you're walking to or the pleasure of the walk. You're not thinking about how to walk. So that is my thoughts on that. Is this the outline? No. This is the pitch document or proposal, series proposal document, which, see up here, series proposal document. Because as I explained the last two episodes, when you write a pilot, anyone who likes the pilot is going to say, tell me about the rest of the series, what you would like the rest of the series to be. So you don't actually chart out every detail, and you don't necessarily write something that is locked in, because very often things change. Famously, Breaking Bad, they originally thought that the character of Jesse was going to die at the end of the first season. They thought, this is about Walt. Jesse is his way in. It will help escalate the terribleness of his situation if Jesse dies. Once they started working with Jesse, the character and the actor, they were like, we can't kill this guy. He's crucial to the story. He's part of the balance that makes it human. The main thing about Jesse in Breaking Bad is the humanity he brings to Walt's relentless ambition. So the answer is, they originally did not understand where they knew roughly that the series was going to Walt's, as they said, he would become Scarface. But they didn't understand the whole arc with Jesse, which became the center of Walt's story in many ways. So the answer is you write a document, you write a plan which tells you and the people you're working with what you want to try and do. As we have seen with all writing process, as you work on it, you often discover things. You say, oh, this thing I thought was so important, I can just cut it out. This thing I didn't think that was so important, that's really the heart of things. That is a normal part. When you outline, you do not carve it in stone and never change it. You make a plan, you chart out what you think you're doing, and then you start to work towards it. That's what we're doing here, is we're just sort of, I need to be able to tell people what I think this show will be about. But who knows, if it was to actually go get into production, I'm sure it would change. Okay. Yeah, and like I said, the only thing I urge you to do, it does not matter what kind of software, the only thing that matters is whether or not you are thinking in terms of dramatic actions, characters, and scenes. That is all that matters. If you can do that by writing on the sides of plastic straws and building a construction out of them, cool. Whatever it is that makes it coherent for you to understand the story and think of it as a story. The thing I worry about, I know some people try to write their outlines in spreadsheet format because they're used to working in a spreadsheet. That, I think, is a poor idea because it's not narrative. It's breaking things out of the flow of narrative. And that's the only thing I would urge you to do, is if you are making an outline or a proposal or notes, try to keep it in a flow, a narrative flow, even if that's made of discrete pieces. If you're going to write on, a lot of people write these things literally on index cards. I have a friend who works in a software, I believe it's called Story Blocks. I can't remember. Anyway, the point is it's essentially infinitely expandable index cards so that you can type on the index card, but if your index card turns out to be 5 pages long, cool. And then you can organize them as you want, but it helps you to think of that index card as a scene. And however much detail you want to put in there, that's how much you do. Okay. Yeah, so let me see, because I think I've got more stuff here. This is very important. All right, so what I'm just doing now is trying to get my mind around the material that I already have. Talking about process, one of the big processes that I'm trying to teach is don't keep starting from scratch. Don't keep saying, okay, I have to think of something. What can I think of? Without looking at what you already have. There is a fabulous video that I made called Use What You Have. And I am trying to walk the walk there that I talk here, using what I have. I've already thought about these characters and the shape of this story. It would be insane to start without trying to incorporate, don't have to stick with it, but to incorporate all the work that went into figuring out the outline, which is what these notes are from. So I'm just going to actually turn all of this into prose, because then Okay, so then I can start to turn it into. So, for instance, okay, this is the story. This is actually the pilot, so I'm just going to take that out. What that was a what I call the major moves. I just tried to conceive of the story in like 4 or 5 lines of like, this happens and this happens and this happens. Like if you had to tell someone the story in just the quickest summary, which I try to do for myself so that I can remember what the story is, so I don't get lost in the details and forget that the point of a certain part of the story is that Madeline and Norman are coming together, or that someone is now going to be a threat. Whatever it is, the major point of that story turn, I like to write those out. I call it the major moves. Okay. All right. The thing I'm going to tone and influences. Okay, these are all Coen brothers. Oh gosh, you are banned. There we go. Okay. Yeah, you think? I guess I appreciate the attention that somebody noticed me enough to bot me, but I wish I thought that was actually meaningful. I'm sure it's just, oh, there's a live stream. Okay. Themes. I do like to talk about the themes. I like to talk about the This is a kind of tricky subject because I want to criticize the entertainmentization of a rare and horrible situation, human situation, but I'm doing it in the form of entertainment. Okay, so yeah. I don't like human situation. Corner of human behavior. Okay. This is tricky. Can that even be done? I think so. Can that even be done? I think so. Admittedly, I am aiming high here, but The Godfather managed to do it. The Godfather managed to do it. Aiming high here, but so arguably did Taxi Driver and the Joker. Okay, so it's subject at the same time it mythologized. Am I aiming? Am I daring to and Breaking Bad. Okay. Do I dare aspire to those heights? What the hell? What the hell? Why not? So I'm just writing, like, I'm trying to get a tone going here for myself of what I would, because the thing is, you want this, one of the possible tones is to actually sort of directly address the reader, because your readers are not neutral. They are not an audience. They are people who, in theory, are trying to decide whether or not to work with you. All right. Okay, I'll tell you, one of the big problems here is in writing this stuff, I'm going to make myself want to pursue this project, which I'm not going to. This project is not going to get sold. I'm not going to get the chance to write the whole series. So this is the hard part for me about a series, and I can only do this so many times. I've done it a fefew times, and it's hard. I've written pilots. I'm going to put them on the website once I start. Once I start doing live streams, analyzing my own scripts, I have a couple of pilot scripts that I wrote, which I will put up there. And it's kind of one of the things I want to talk about being a screenwriter, especially a TV writer, is the highly frustrating nature of the art. It's like saying, I want to build a cathedral, but I'm just going to build one pillar, and then I'm going to draw a plan for the rest of it, and you guys are going to tell me if, not you guys, the business is going to tell me or not whether or not they'll pay to do that. And so a part of me is just like, why not do this in another form? Why not do this in a form where I can complete the story, when I can say what's in my heart? So anyway, that's the hard part about this series proposal or writing a pilot. I like to be honest about that. It's worth trying. It's pretty cool. Anyway, Sarah, I'm so, yeah. You know, why not? What's going to happen? Worst that happens, I fail. We all fail. We all fail all the time. Failing is part of aspiring. It's part of being human. It is. Oh, by the way, last night I watched everything, everything, everywhere, all at once. I think it is everything, everywhere, all at once. Anyway, it's an amazing movie. It is freaking brilliant. I urge you to buy it, rent it, see it. It's worth seeing multiple times. Yeah, everything. It's the hold on. I'm just gonna check IMDb. Everything, everywhere, all at once. Everything, everywhere, all at once. It's just great. In fact, you know what I'm going to do here? I'm going to even find the poster. Everything, everywhere, all at once. And I am going to grab the poster. And I am going to... And I am going to put it right here on our screen because I want everyone to see it. Oh, that's too big. Hold on. Oh, no. There we go. Everything, everywhere, all at once here, right in front of me. There we go. This is a great, great, great movie. And it talks a lot about, first of all, it's just the craftsmanship of the complexity of the script, the way that it puts together its pieces in a seemingly haphazard and sloppy way, but in fact it's all carefully building to revelations of everyday humanity. It seems to be just a whacked out comic book kind of story, but it turns out to be just so deeply moving and profound and great. So I just urge you guys to see that. Hello, Larry. Thank you, Donna. Yeah, why not? Exactly. It's about the joy of the process as others are buying into it. And it might be amazing. You never know. It's worth trying. It's always worth trying. You'll get something out of that. And if it is good, people may not be able to make it. I mean, remember that there's large corporations and tens of millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars involved in putting together a series. And so therefore, you can't always get it. Even great stuff doesn't always get made, but great stuff does get attention. And people say, ooh, we love your great stuff. Come work with us. And that's really very much the goal. All right. Yes. Which is part of this. The of acceptance. That's what I'm saying. The goal of acceptance. Okay. So what I'm doing right now is just sort of sorting, getting my thoughts in organize. You know what? I'm going to put online intimacy under the larger topic of crowdsourcing, of coming together online. That is a theme. Okay. let's see what Sarah has to say here about ludonarrative dissonance is a term in video games to describe the weird doublethink in games that are, for example, about the evils of war, but the planet. Yes, this is the tricky thing, but it is true of all of pretty much art since the beginning of time. Honestly, the Iliad, one of the first great works of Western civilization, is about how terrible war is, at the same time glorifying it. What are you going to do? But does so much crap get done? Yes, absolutely. Why does so much crap get done? I will tell you the answer. Because the goal of the business is not to do great work. The goal of the business is to make a lot of money. And you don't always make a lot of money from doing great work. Great work tends to not appeal to the largest possible audience. So therefore, the largest possible audience is likely to go for easy, familiar, and often not unhealthy things. The largest possible audience will like a cat video or a video of a person falling out a window, and that may be a kick, and you may click on it over and over again, but that does not mean it is a great work of art. A great work of art often challenges or questions or demands of you, and therefore the people who are in the business are like, can you turn that into something that we absolutely know people already like? And sometimes that's great. Sometimes the things that people already like are valuable. But the answer is the business is in the business of making money. That is the only, not the only goal, is the overriding principle of every entertainment and art business, except the nonprofits. And even the nonprofits, frankly, you'll find museums have to do shows that are going to bring in a lot of people. They need to get, very often they need to get attention. They need to get people in the door. So therefore, even, it's just hard to do things that are not necessarily geared to making the most amount of money. So that is why so much crap gets made. Hi, Roddy, and all. So yeah, that's and I don't mean to say that like it's popular things are bad. That is not the case. Popular things are very often terrific. Popular things are not the only thing. That's the point. And the thing about art, I was thinking about this, just the thing about art that we just don't really spend time thinking about is, it's perishable. It's not going to last forever. Shakespeare, while magnificent and had a long run where he was central to the culture, but it was a rather insular culture of Western art, and of a fairly elite crowd of Western art. While he did, at the time he wrote, Shakespeare made sure to entertain different parts of his audience, but Shakespeare became the go-to artist for Western literature. But honestly, since the 19th century, he's not that relevant. You can live without reading Shakespeare. It's a drag that you do, but you can. Also, it's inaccessible. The language is no longer accessible. The ways of thinking are very often inaccessible or irrelevant. So that's what I just wanted to say, that one of the things about art is there's gonna be a moment that it's popular, that even if you succeed, you don't solve it. It's not like art ends when you do it right. Whereas for many other things, ideally, you get it right and then you're done. Art, you just do it every day. You constantly do it. So that's, But that's okay. I like to explain myself. That's kind of why I'm here. I am trying to impart the things that I've spent 50 years thinking about, because I've just been doing it longer than most of you, and therefore I may have some stuff you could use. That's it. All right. Let's just, these are elements of it. But of course, she is only using it for personal gain. So who speaks for it authentically? How do we see it working? Okay, so cool. These are questions. These are questions. Connect. All right. So what I'm doing right now is just trying to, like I said, get the raw material in some shape. Okay. This is no longer true. He's a compulsive puzzler, analyst, observer. Natural detective. He honestly can't help himself. He sees things, he puts them together. Lonely, and his favorite thing to do is solitary and somewhat alienating to others. Okay, so this online crime-solving group is a blessing. Hi, Jean. Welcome. So glad that you're here. And school projects by day. I'm assuming that there's a Y at the end of that. Hello to you. I haven't seen you before. Welcome. I am just trying to get some raw material down here for a proposal document, a summary of the series. All right, George. We're not going to make George a big part of this. Boom. There we go. See, what I've got is I've got multiple sets of notes for these people. So yeah, a lot of us are a lot of us have parts of like I'm deeply introverted. You wouldn't know it because I'm doing this, but honestly, I'm alone. You know, you're out there, but and it's for a limited time. These live streams have a boundary that I set. So that is good for introverts because I find being with people exhausting. I put out more than I get back. And I don't mean that in a critical way. I just mean that it's a problem of mine. So yeah, we all have things that that can alienate others. Yes, I knew that you meant to like, and it can be hard to talk to them. One of the things to do is just remember people are different. Some people just don't care about what you care about. And the interesting thing is, like, what do they care about? And are they truly happy when you connect with them about it? And if they can't care about what you care about, or if they can't care about you, it's a relief to let that go, to accept it. That's my thing. Oh, I'm sorry. I hope that's not my responsibility, but I don't think it is. I think Awesome Man, by the way, hi, welcome. Your stream, your relationship to the stream is probably through YouTube, and I cannot can help control that. You're welcome. Yeah, that's good. I'm going to keep working on it. Okay. Way too smart. Okay. Nah. Okay. Well. This is a maybe. This is a maybe. His story. You know what? I'm just gonna make that there. Okay. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. This is interesting. Thank you, Alex. That's a great question. Weirdly, the one thing that I can talk about almost without stopping and without loss of energy is creative work. That's why I'm doing this. It's if I had to talk to you guys for an hour about anything else, I'd be out of here. Directing was actually really fun for me because all I was thinking about was the work, and anybody who was involved was thinking about the work. Also, the director is the boss, so I got to, like, if I wanted to be left alone, I would just say, "Hey, I need some quiet time," and people would leave me alone. So nice. But the answer is, I am not misanthropic. I don't dislike people. I just find they wear me out, and I feel obligated to care about them, to give to them, to take care of them in a way that's unhealthy. So therefore, directing is nice because it was all about me. It was, what do I want? What's gonna, So the answer is, it was weird because it was a little backwater of ability for me to be with people a lot. Yes, I would agree. This chat is full of amazing introverts. Okay. Most grounded, normal of the crime crackers. She often speaks She often reminds us, everyone, of common sense and moral issues, but she is also kind of, I don't want to say a coward, that's not right, but she's also not heroic. That's it. Okay. Oh, this is nice. I hadn't thought about it. Yeah. Like, one of the things about this is sometimes you'll like actually learn things as you do this. I hadn't thought about this, but this is true. Cool. Okay. Detective Elms. One of the things I want to do is look and see Dundosky. Okay, this is Norman and Madeline. So, Detective Elms. The group name in the forums. In the Crime Cracker forums. Okay. Oh yeah, this was important too. Wanted escape. There we go. Elms. Shrimpton. Okay, let's not forget Ted, the conspiracy theorist, a raving nut job. Honestly, is barely tethered to functioning in reality. So what's the good thing about him? He regrets being so foolish in the last moments of his life. He is killed by Xena or Deacons during the story. Yeah, definitely. Okay, this is pretty good. Okay. Oh, look, we're coming up to the hour, so I think I'm gonna think. Sorry, people outside my door. Tomorrow is another day, as they said back in the 1930s in Hollywood. Okay, so all of you have yourselves a dynamite evening, and be sure to go write something.